So, folks, we need to talk about the fact that Donald Trump is in what I would call approval freefall. New polling came out today, basically showing that Donald Trump is threatening to drop below 30%. Like, when we talk about historically low approval ratings, we're talking like low 30s, and that's where he's at right now. Okay, the new AP NORC poll is devastating for him. Like, it turns out taking the country to war with Iran for no reason and being unable multiple weeks in to provide any real reason for us to do this while global markets are just going haywire. Not very popular. Trump's approval rating on the economy dropped to 30%. Only 32% of the country approves of what Donald Trump is doing with Iran. Like, we're starting to talk about, like, his overall job performance is now at 33%. It dropped down from 38% last night. So, where we're at is that the president has dropped 5 points in less than a month. And I gotta be honest with you guys. I know for a long time people are like, well, his base still supports him. His base still supports him. His base still supports him, right? And of course they do. But I do want to point out that his approval among Republicans has now hit 68%, which, granted, that's still pretty high comparatively, but it also means that his base of support is cracking. Like, he came in with like 95% approval. He's lost like a solid 30% of like the Republican base. And not only that, it's threatening to drop lower. Because I need you guys to understand, a Republican president, especially someone like Trump, who relies almost entirely on his cult of personality, dropping in popularity, that's that's a existential problem for his ability to maintain power. Okay?
LMAO, he didn't even hit the nice 69%.
It's insane that it's so high. It's so high because his supporters exist within a gigantic media bubble. They aren't getting information from outside the bubble here, guys. But they are still subject to the economic forces that exist in the real world and come in from outside that bubble. And a lot of them are realizing they're getting fucked over. You know? Like, the farmers in the Midwest right now are starting to feel the tremors of what Donald Trump started when the Strait of Hormuz got closed down because we invaded Iran. And that blocked off a huge chunk of the global fertilizer supply. And that's causing huge jumps for farmers to a degree that they cannot survive financially. And when we're talking about the country's overall approval rating of him on economic issues, we're talking 30%. Like, that's colossally bad. Even if you, like, what that polling shows us is that even if 68% of Republicans support him overall, a lot of that support is dropping on a lot of different issues in order for it to for support on like economic issues, for example, to hit 30%. Not only that, like, I gotta say, it's unprecedented for a Republican to have this low of an approval rating among their own party. Among his own party, he's at 68%. A lot of people are like, well, that's really high. I gotta be honest with you guys. If this goes lower, like if we start seeing it drop in the Republican Party, support for Trump drop below 66% and get down to like 64, 62, 60%, like that is a level of insane disapproval, the likes of which I don't know that we've ever seen. Like since, going back to like maybe Hoover, like we're talking like going back a long time ago to some like Great Depression era presidents. that were getting blamed for said Great Depression. And like, that's where he is now. Like, he's right now where George W. Bush was when he was at the end of his second term. Just to give you guys you're basically looking at the comparable points of reference. You got George W. Bush towards the end of his second term, where I want to remind you guys the bottom had fallen out of the economy and everyone was fucking pissed. And then you have Hoover during the Great Depression. And like, if you see this fall just a little bit more, like we're talking like Democrats are going to be taking the Senate too. Like we're talking previously unthinkable kinds of wins in Congress are now thinkable. And so it's pretty telling. I mean, the AP reporting here, Catherine Bright, 60, a retired captain in the U.S. Air Force, regrets that she supported Trump in the last election. I feel disgusted with myself. I feel betrayed, like he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, she said. I do have to say, that's bullshit. You knew who you were voting for. You just thought it was going to go better. You thought he was going to deliver and not be fucking insane, and you thought wrong. They're learning. I don't know if they're learning, but like it's a window of opportunity to at least capitalize on them realizing that they were wrong, even if belatedly. God, it's like high school class president. I'm going to promise we're going to get pizza every single day. Then as soon as they get elected, they're like, oh, I lied. Yeah, it is kind of like politicians be lying. It's so frustrating. I do just want to point out, again, the collapse for Trump on issues like the economy, it's the death knell of his overall approval rating. It's not going to get better. Yeah, she believed the pizza everyday candidate at 60 years old, indeed. Fell for it again award. But also, I just got to be honest with you, this is not limited to just the AP's polling. Strength in Numbers also put out their own poll results earlier today, with along with Verisight, and yeah, it's really bad for him. You know, we're looking at like from this poll 35% approval, and like one of the lowest rankings on the economy ever. Yeah, negative 46 on inflation and prices. Like, I just want to say he's done. There's no way for this guy to course correct. There's not a way for him to do it. Right? Like, it's just blatantly obvious that this guy's corrupt, that he's self-serving, that he's selling all of us the fuck out while he tries to, reap the benefits of his position. Look, he's giving himself $10 billion of taxpayer money in front of everybody. He's gonna settle with himself. This kind of shit, it's treasonous. It is a betrayal of the Republic, and even the most pro-Trump people, like, it's starting to break through, you know? I mean, also combine that with the fact that, like, all of the grand designs, all of the Republican Party's, like, big ideas, Project 2025 and all of that, to a certain extent, it was reliant on yes men. But there's an important component that is required from all of these plans at this scale, which is that you don't just need yes men, you need talented yes men. And people with talent don't become yes men, generally speaking. Now, this is a problem that is actually so noted that Pam Bondi's former top aide is quoted by CNN saying, part of the reason the weaponization work has been difficult is that you need people who are MAGA and who are really competent. Many career prosecutors are not interested in this kind of work. It's a very small group of people. And that's the issue, right? It's an issue not just for the Justice Department under Pam Bondi, but it's an issue for basically everywhere that the MAGA movement has tried to take over and do what they're doing. It's part of their plan was to slash all of these government organizations and try and consolidate government power as much as possible because they just simply do not have the people to be able to continue projecting power and dominating the news cycle in the way they want, right? And I mean, like, they're losing on all of their fronts. A federal judge basically declared RFK Jr.'s policy on gender-affirming care bullshit. They're losing on that. They're also losing when it comes to, I mean, the economy, very obviously, even from the polling, but like, you can't piss on people and tell them that it's rain. People are going to figure out that weirdly warm rain isn't just because it's warm outside, actually. It's going to be some other giveaways here.
So if you remove the overhang, or at least keep people updated, my point was that there must be some underlying fundamentals that you would point to.
Sure.
That were, whether it's corporate profits, whether it's margins. I mean, I'm amazed at how well behaved the bond market has been, the 10-year staying right around in a range, in spite of a lot of different concerns about debt and inflation and everything else.
Well, as you know, that we've had 2 earnings seasons in a row where basically everything's surprising on the upside. That's happening because the golden age that President Trump promised is starting to be very visible in the profit data, but also more importantly in the wage data. If you're a person who has a job where you're making tips, or you're making overtime, or you're a retiree who thought that Social Security wasn't what you expected, you need to make some more money, all of you got huge tax breaks in the $4,000 to $7,000 range because
Like, I'm sorry, the golden age it's so apparent. Just look at the profit data. Yeah, the profit data for the biggest companies in the world who are also juicing one another up off of AI with like speculative investments by siphoning up all of the investor cash that's available on a fucking flim-flam technology. Okay. Yeah, that profit data, none of those companies are profitable off of AI. But okay. And you're seeing it in the wages. Oh yeah, all of those tipped workers just roll it in the cash. I just, like, I don't know. I know that people are struggling right now. Like, the prices that have increased off of tariffs, off of this war with Iran, like, people are struggling.
This was not the golden shower I expected.
Hey, I mean, it's not the golden shower that even Donald Trump expected. Like, it's all bullshit. They're still betting the entire economy on AI. Yeah, and they're taking more and more risky investments in order to do it. It's very scary. 95% of Americans, including tip workers, paid more on their taxes under Trump's new taxes. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even believe him when he says people got like a $4,000 tax break as a tipped employee. I don't believe that. I think that is vastly overstating like the actual like refunds tipped workers are getting.
the big beautiful bill. And so I think that with strong domestic economy, then the question is there something about the foreign relations that could upset that? And first, the U.S. economy is the engine of global growth. And so a strong U.S. economy is a super positive, despite what's going on in the Gulf. But also, once this is resolved, think about how much energy production in the Gulf area has been depressed over time because of the huge risk premium associated with Iranian misbehavior. And so once this thing is done, think about...
Yeah, the huge risk premium associated with Iranian misbehavior. There wasn't one. Oil shipments were able to go through the Strait of Hormuz without any problem, actually. There wasn't a risk premium. Iran wasn't attacking the oil fields. What are you talking about? Just think of how much greater it's going to be once this war is done. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And people, like, I'm sorry, this is pissing on people and telling them it's raining. And the polling data that is out now shows that even Republicans aren't buying this shit. Even Republicans look at this and they're like, you know, guys, I think they might be lying to us. Oh, God. And you know, I would say, hey, maybe things are going pretty okay for the American economy right now, except, I got really bad news for you if you guys think that the economy is doing okay. All right? Just if you manage to get this far into the video and you're not nodding along with the economy is doing poorly statements. This came across my news feed about a week or so ago, and I've just been holding on to it because I haven't really been sure what to say about it other than, damn, this is bad. But here's from Siena Research Institute. More than a quarter of Americans, 27%, have active online sports betting accounts. A third have opened an account at least once. Hey guys, is it good if people are living in such desperation that they need to resort to gambling to feel like they have a way to have, like, economic mobility? Like, this is bad. It is bad when so many people are so desperate that they feel the need to bet on sporting events so that they can get ahead in life. Also, this should absolutely, like, this should not be legal in the way that it is. More polls indicating just how screwed the GOP is. Ossoff is up 9 in Georgia. Democrats are +2 in Iowa. Dems +6 in Maine. The Iowa governor race polled at Democrat +12. That's crazy. Unfortunately, the Democratic Party needs to lose elections in order for the electorate to become radicalized. If corporate Democrats win, it will invariably lead to a GOP win next time. Well, that's why we need to ensure corporate Democrats do not win, right? That's why every day I get on here and I scream at you guys to get involved in your local political processes. It's so that you can stop corporate Democrats from consolidating power and avoid that outcome. Because I also don't think accelerating masked armed men executing people in the streets of my city is going to help people here. Like, if you think I am going to actively move this country in a direction to put more masked people on my streets to kill more people, so just on the off chance that that will get more people to organize against this kind of governance, I think that's a bad idea, and I do not support it. So, just so we're clear, asking me to support any kind of action that would have more masked dudes killing people on my streets, not a good idea. People say harm reduction is actually harm delay. Yeah, but the thing is, with harm delay, you're buying time to do better things in the future. I will never agree with this idea. Like, it's just a fundamental thing we disagree on. Again, if you are asking me to pursue a course of action that kills more people in my neighborhood, like, I live like a handful of blocks away from where Renee Good was gunned down by ICE agents. Like, I'm not going to pursue a course of action that makes that more commonplace in my city or my country. I just full stop. Like, I am not going to pursue a course of action that has, like, the indigenous people in my community afraid to go outside because a government agent is going to stop them and try and kidnap them if they don't have all of their papers on them. Like, I'm not going to pursue that, guys. I'm not willing to put those people on a fucking sacrificial altar for some idea that we need to accelerate and radicalize folks. When what is very clearly happening is that the liberal base is being radicalized. They're the ones out there saying the shit that I can't say. Delay is also a way to avoid unnecessary confrontation, and we've been kicking these cans down the road for 6 decades. Look, all I can say is you guys are making me incredibly angry. And if you want to do this shit, don't do it here. Like, I'm not willing to look indigenous people in my community in the eye and say, hey guys, sorry, you gotta take a bullet so that we can hasten the revolution. I think that's pretty disgusting. I'm not willing to look at people in my community who a few months ago were afraid to go outside and leave their homes to get their family, like, food or basic medical products or or toilet paper and tell them, hey, sorry, you got to go back into hiding because some folks on the internet want to accelerate things and make it worse for you so that, you know, we can like have a revolution or something. Not my cup of tea. I'm on your side. I'm saying we should try kicking the corpos out of the party. Exactly. That is my position. My position is we cannot trust corporate Democrats as far as we can throw them. I just do not support like this. We need to make things worse so as to hasten a confrontation. The confrontation is already happening. Whether we want to meet that confrontation or not, it's happening right now. Corporate Democrats are already on the attack against progressives, and we need to get more people mobilized, both within the party and outside the party, to meet that confrontation. We're already in the shit. I just want people to organize more against corporate Democrats because they are on the attack right now. Which again, why I keep telling folks, join your local Dems, join your local DSA. We need to organize people both inside and outside the party. Those are two excellent vehicles to do it. And, if you don't know where to start, join our Discord, reach out to Dragonfly for help with your local Dems, reach out to GamerG for help with your local DSA. And if you don't want to join the Discord, you can find them over on riverboat.gg over here in this chat. God, I look so tired. Being sick is not a good look on me. God. You know what? I did a good job keeping my cool there. Good job, me. And also, cool thing you can do when you join your local Dems, you can actually change the local platform of your local branch of the Democratic Party. You know, to something like, hey, let's make sure people aren't betting their life savings on sport games. Because that's going to end in tragedy for so many people for so many reasons. And hey, you know what? I just think that maybe Donald Trump is in an irreversible downward spiral here. And I say that because his Truth Social is just unhinged from reality. Iran is collapsing financially. They want the Strait of Hormuz opened immediately, starving for cash. Losing $500 million a day. Military and police complaining they're not getting paid. SOS. Like, he's living in a fucking delusional land. He's posting through it. He's posting just like fucking like memes and shit like nonstop. And he's reposting all of it too. It's crazy. I don't know, guys. I think the president is insane. And I'm not saying that as like a gotcha. He's just straight up losing it. This is all in the last 7 hours, guys. And it's all like posting about Iran, how Iran's falling apart, Iran's losing. They've definitely lost. And he's doing all of this because Iran pulled out of the peace negotiations that were supposed to happen tomorrow. And he doesn't know what to do. And so he's extended the ceasefire at the request of Pakistan. And like, we have only now, after me talking for like 2 minutes, arrived at the point where we're now talking about posts he made a day ago. This man is like, I'm sorry, I'm going to count how many times he posted today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Like, my God. This guy just doesn't have enough to do. It's fucking nuts. Iran's falling apart, he says, as polling shows him as one of the least popular presidents of all time. It's genuinely wild. But I do want to I want to end this on a positive note. Right? Like, Donald Trump is spiraling out of control. His brain is not going to somehow get better. Okay? And on top of that, his polling is already in the gutter. So if his brain isn't going to improve, and his actions aren't going to improve, his polling's not going to improve, and I gotta be honest with you guys, if his overall approval goes below 30%, like into the 20s, then genuinely I think it changes like the calculus for basically everybody. Because right now we've been looking at, oh, well, you know, people, we're before the midterms. Republicans probably aren't going to jump ship before the midterms on Donald Trump. They're all focused on like getting his endorsement and winning in the midterms, and they feel like they need it in order to like validate their run. If he drops below 30, then I think we start having a different conversation. I think we start seeing Republicans jumping ship in order to try and curry votes with independents. We start seeing an attempt to distance themselves for real from Donald Trump. And not only that, I do think we start to see talk of impeachment, not just from like one or two Republicans, but from a growing number. A different kind of cool zone. I mean, it's all the same cool zone. The cool zone is neither good nor evil. It's just a range of extended possibilities. But guys, this is why you need to get involved with your local Democrats right now, because I guarantee you, and Dragonfly is completely right about this. We've already seen neoconservatives for like the Bulwark jump ship and align themselves with Democrats and try to start having influence over the Democratic Party. You're going to start seeing that from Republican politicians. You might start seeing Republican politicians jumping ship, turning Democrat, right? And that's not to say that they're going to become liberals. They're going to still be neocons. And they are going to try and take over the Democratic Party. The issue here is that we need to build up enough support within the Democratic Party to prevent it from being completely overwhelmed and taken over by conservatives and, you know, conservative lights. You know, establishment Democrats and neocons coming together to form deeply, deeply dangerous blend. Real questions is, does Fetterman vote against convicting Trump? Probably. His brain's cooked. So that's kind of where things stand. I view all of this as incredibly positive. The polling that Donald Trump is seeing right now is devastating. And the self-interested Republicans in DC are going to start making decisions that to break from Trump. I don't know, it might take another, like, couple weeks of, like, the Strait of Hormuz being blocked and the economic consequences of that being further baked in. It might take something else, something bigger happening. Maybe he uses a nuke, who knows?
Like this bralette from Imogene Olivia.
Exactly! Imogene Olivia bralettes. Check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com, link down in the description. They actually have a lot of support for just being a bralette. Go check it out. Super comfortable. Wearing one right now. Very cool. Will make you look sexier, and also it's non-tuck lingerie. Go check it out. All of this is bad news for Donald Trump, and it should light a fire under all of your asses to get involved with your local political scene immediately if you are not, because we need folks in there to stop any kind of further conservative takeover of the Democratic Party. If you want an analogy or an analogous situation, look no further than Keir Starmer over in the UK. What they did over there, what Keir Starmer did was just a complete and utter bungling of a nationwide mandate that he received. And instead of going to the left with it, he took it to a more conservative place. And people fucking hated it. Let's just skip that step. Let's get involved now and make sure that the people who are coming up in the Democratic Party are actually pro-working class, actually give a shit about human rights. Dragonfly knows. Dragonfly has been organizing inside the Democratic Party for years and has, quote, I regularly have to slap down neo-lib centrists. And when you've organized inside the party, you can do that. But you need to be in the room in order to make that happen. So, all that being said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Comments longer than 8 words really help in the algorithm. And go check out the interview I did with Karishma Manzoor. It's up on my YouTube channel. Very, very good. very promising Senate candidate in New Hampshire, speaking truth to power and going up against Chris Pappas in the primary. Go check that out if you are, especially if you're interested in getting AIPAC-backed politicians out of politics. All that being said, let's keep going. Let's do it.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and Swishy streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.